HasanAbi corporate. I don't even know what that is. So overall, I mean, it always feels silly talking about it. Like I do a tier list after the end of the debates. It feels unproductive even to do it after this one because like this was so bad. I feel like they're gonna cancel the rest of the debates unless Trump participates in them. You know what I mean?
Lists are good. Yeah, I think Trump. I think looked far more serious here. His presence was very notable, so that's an easy thing to put him up there to say that he just won that.
Yeah, 100%.
Asa isn't even there anymore. It was so sad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm conflicted on that because like on the one hand, I think it's funny to even have him on there. But on the other hand, he's very hard to look at. Like he just straight up looks like a more lizard version of Mike Pence.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like they sent Asa Hutchinson, I call him Ada, to the planet. The aliens did, and then they were like, "Oh, it didn't take. We should send Mike Pence instead." Who was like a reskinned Ada.
Did you see something on Ada's website where he created an AI where you can ask him questions?
No, what?
You have to see it. I'll try to look it up. I'll try to find the link. But you can ask him about Pokemon and shit.
Dude, I don't get who the they're hiring. Like who Hutchinson won't be in the debate, but his new AI clone can go anywhere.
Yeah.
No way. Is it in real time?
Yeah, you can just ask it. The Miami mayor did the same thing where he posted AI videos of himself.
Why weren't you at the debate?
Ask him what his favorite epic rap battles of history video is.
Okay, let's see. Well, it's not working. I think we might have bricked it.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
yeah, that's probably what happened.
I shouldn't have looked it up on the stream. I should have just... Oh, never mind. It worked. Dear voter, thank you for reaching out and expressing your concern about my absence from the debate. I understand the importance of being present on the debate stage to engage with Republican voters and share my message. Oh, God, it's so bad. It's like the classic ChatGPT.
Yeah. I think they wrote this one beforehand because I know people would ask it.
Yeah, but even then, I feel like it's still got the ChatGPT tone, the over explaining tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him his favorite Pokemon.
Hold on. I don't know how raunchy I can get with this. What's your favorite sex position? Let's see. If he's using actual AI and has a key link that's super duper expensive to do this, if it got spammed, it would cost tens of thousands of dollars.
Let's bankrupt him.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Let's drive him to bankruptcy.
He's not responding. If he says missionary, I'm voting for him illegally.
Yeah.
I'm writing him in.
Yeah, for president.
Oh, come on. It's bricked. Okay. Really stupid thing that they're doing. I don't understand how they there's no better job to be in than I guess a politician's aide. You know what I mean? Or someone working for a campaign in America. Like you just be a gigantic fucking failure, and they're like, it's fine. You know?
Yeah, and they're all 80 years old, so they're just listening to whatever you say.
Yeah, it's so sad. I appreciate your query, but I focus primarily on discussions related to my political stances. How can I assist you in that regard?
You know what he said? He's never had sex. He's a virgin.
Yeah. So we got the debate runtime, or the tracker on who spoke the most. Vivek Ramaswamy at 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Ron DeSantis at 12 minutes and 8 seconds, which always is interesting because Ron, I feel like, tries to speak not that much, but they do keep asking him questions.
Yeah, he's felt very low profile in both of these debates.
Yeah, even though he does get a lot of runtime. Tim Scott with 11 minutes and 21 seconds. Jesus Christ. Chris Christie at 10 minutes and 27.
Deep State took Doug out.
Yeah, Doug Burgum only got 7 minutes, which is criminal, okay? My man was told to shut the fuck up. It was crazy. Mike Pence had 9 minutes. Nikki Haley had 10 minutes. I would say, most beats per minute spoken, Nikki Haley is she's ripped them. She definitely came out on top.
She had that that kind of dynamic that Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg had, where she just hated him. and that was fun to see. I take her side and Amy's side in both of those disputes.
Yeah, because we love women here. Obviously, that's why.
Yeah.
Um, and National Post showed Trump's lead in the GOP primary undiminished ahead of the second debate. Trump was, of course, at 58%. Ron DeSantis at 15%, but that just looks pretty stable. I don't know where Nikki Haley is like picking up voters from.
Probably undecided. Maybe some DeSantis supporters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vivek also has just lost support, which is sad. I thought he kind of had some swag going on, but he never did.
Well, there's a couple different reasons for that, because like the most hyper Trump fans are still going to always go for Trump because he's in the race. And secondly, he's like, unlike Nikki Haley, he is very visibly Indian, and Trump's major base of support is going to not go for that no matter what happens. Like, no matter how much you dick ride him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
except when the Republican Party's 90% Latino in 10 years. Then they may be fine with it.
Yeah. So overall, really, really unproductive. I guess the EV conversation was like interesting as a way to deflect away from the UAW situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. I don't know. What are your high moments here?
Haley definitely came across as like a far more polished and like professional politician than the rest of them. She was not. She also was, I think, like a lot more willing to take risks than they were. She had the line about Trump with the debt, and like where she just said Ramaswamy sucked and that she hated him. And those, she like stood out there. Like those were definitely memorable moments. But I do think she's trying to play to win too much, where she's like outright kind of alienating Trump in a lot of ways, like especially like going against his record. So I don't really know what angle she's playing. It's like she's like has the right form, but not really like a really discernible like end goal. But the rest of them, it's just kind of a waste of time. DeSantis needs to be dominating this. He's obviously not. He was like getting talked over about curtains. It's just brutal. I don't know if he's gonna like win a primary or make it to a primary. It's just sad.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of this even is at this point. It just like, without Donald Trump, I don't even think that there's going to be enough eyeballs on the process.
No,
I just don't think that like, and him actually doing something which surprisingly was not televised on Fox News leading up to the debate, which was interesting because he did it an hour right before the debate. I thought that, that would at least like draw a little bit of a crowd in for the debate, but Fox didn't even take the bait. Like, they just did not even have him on there. But overall, I'm just unimpressed. I'm unimpressed with the talent here on the
the one
field.
I think Vivek is the only guy who's definitively lost the past two debates, because Vivek had a shot, I think, of like really kind of like taking a strong second place and making himself like a real player in Trump world, but he's like kind of far away from that now, which is, you can really that was a personal failure on his part. Also, it was fun. Trump begged Sean Fain to endorse him.
Yeah. Oh, during the thing that he did in Michigan. Yeah. So there were some people who had Union Members for Trump signs on that they had printed out, of course. And apparently someone there, Craig Mauger, asked people, he said, "It's unclear how many auto workers attended Trump's speech. A person in the crowd with a Union Members for Trump sign acknowledged she wasn't a union member. A person with an auto workers for Trump sign said she wasn't an auto worker." They went to, they went and got guys from Central Casting. Like, there's no, like, they probably got a collection of like small business owners to pack that room.
Yeah, they do stuff like that all the time, like those pictures where it's a bunch of white people with black voters for Trump shirts.
Yeah. So doubtful that there were any like real UAW workers there. Not to say that there aren't any UAW rank and filers who would actually vote for Trump. I'm certain that there are. It's, usually swings in favor of the Democratic Party, but depending on which union you're looking at, there are certainly union rank and file members that will go and vote for Donald Trump and have voted for Donald Trump and might even do it again. But I think that at a time when they are picketing, at a time when they're striking, the leadership will be a lot more communicative with the rest of the rank and file, the rest of the union, and most people will know not to attend a thing like that. And it seems like they were trying to pick up like former UAW members as best as they could, like to make it seem like they were there, to make it seem like there was a genuine auto workers there, but it's usually going to be like non-union workers in general.
Yeah, if he actually had like organic support among the type of people who are picketing, he would have gone to the picket line, and he didn't because he knew that he'd like get punched in the face like Steven Crowder did.
Yeah, there's no shot. Like, I mean, there's no shot. Sean Fain doesn't like him, but also, a lot of those guys that are on the line they're not going to be too fond of him. He would get booed. It's too uncontrolled of an environment for him to be comfortable with that. Overall, he had a decent speech though, and my metric for like whether I like a Trump speech or not is one, how much I laugh at it, but also two, how much it pisses me off because he's just like straight up saying the most annoying wrong things, and how much the crowd celebrates it as though he's like preaching God's honest truth, and it definitely pissed me off a lot watching people fucking clap like a bunch of seals every time he was like, making it seem like he was on the side of auto manufacturers,
he's on the side of the manufacturers. He's not on the side of the workers.
Yeah, no, sorry, not the side of the unions, exactly. So overall, yeah, I saw the Chris Christie face. That shit was so bad. Oh God, just so bad. No riz whatsoever from Chris.
Yeah.
So. Okay, came out looking better than before. No change from before. Came out looking worse than before. And then Asa Hutchinson was my tier for like I put him in a separate tier because he was just abysmal last time, which
unranked hell. So I think Haley probably looked better. Whatever kind of thing she's trying to do, I'd probably put her up there.
Yeah, no change from before. I'm afraid I'm gonna put Doug Burgum in this category.
Yeah,
he's a sleeper. Whopping 7 minutes. Like I feel like his approval rating is not going to go down, I guess, like whatever marginal approval rating he has, but he's not winning anybody in that crowd either.
Yeah, I think Vivek came out looking worse than before. He had to admit he was annoying.
Yeah, there was that. I would say Ron DeSantis actually no change from before as well. I don't think he came out looking particularly worse, but he certainly did not look better either. Even though he did get a lot of claps, nothing more disgusting to me than freaks who live in California who fantasize about living in Florida. It's the most disgusting type of person, in my opinion, who just
just move there.
Just go. You freak. I hate that. They were like
they haven't won in 20 years. They haven't won since Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, they are like the most annoying type of reaction. People like, there's 4 million of you. Go fucking live somewhere where your vote matters. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to be here.
It's been over for 30 years. You need to get over it.
Chris Christie came out looking worse than before, I guess. I mean, I'm going to put him in the Asa Hutchinson category at this point.
Yeah. The Donald Duck line was so inspiring. I cried.
Yeah, that was really bad. Mike Pence had some decent lines in the beginning. Went full freak mode again at the end of towards the end of the debate. Doesn't really matter. I mean, he should be, if he wasn't Mike Pence, and if his existence wasn't so contentious in the primary base of support, being the key witness against Donald Trump in at least one of the indictments against him and one of the cases against him, he could be able to like take ownership over every single Trump accomplishment on that stage. You know what I mean? As the VP, which he tries to do every time. But like, he's Mike Pence.
Yeah, he betrayed him. He let the country down. He let this deal happen. Yeah,
so none of those guys are going to vote for him. So, he's just no change from before, I guess. And then Tim Scott, I would say worse than before.
Yeah, he got kind of big dogged by Nikki Haley. So
yeah,
you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, Nikki Haley is vicious. I don't know. Does this change your opinion on who you think might be a VP pick for Donald Trump at all?
No. I think he's probably going to pick the person who cheated on their husband. I have my VP tier list.
Fucking Kristi Noem.
Oh yeah, Kristi Noem. Yeah. I think that she's still like the median pick, but like you can't like look over. I think Vivek looks way less likely to be like as a
Oh,
VP person now.
I never thought Vivek was going VP. For
I
one
thought there was
reason.
a why what.
His last name is Ramaswamy. You think he's going to
Hey,
be
that's
Trump
true.
Ramaswamy on the fucking campaign like merch? No shot.
That's true. It could have been just Trump Vivek, and he could have gone on the Morrowind fans.
Yeah, no, I thought like I always felt like Vivek was maybe because he's like he had high aspirations and thought that he could get like a VP selection, which I never thought was going to happen for him. And like maybe they'd give him like a lower cabinet position potentially, but I feel like there's way better.
That I think if Trump wins, he's going to get the ambassador against wokeness thing.
Yeah, maybe. Um, but who knows? Do you think Haley has a shot at VP, or does she throw daggers at Trump too much?
She makes a lot of sense on paper, but yeah, I think if she was a bit more deferential to Trump, she could put herself like set herself up well. But she's trying to run a real campaign here, which just isn't working because it just pisses Trump off. It pisses the voters off. It's not like gonna work. I mean, I think she'd be a pretty decent pick. I think that she kind of has tried to both sides the Republican Party a bit too much, and she might just give everybody a reason to dislike her. But she'd be better than like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Kristi Noem or like
Yeah.
Carrie Lake or whoever else.
I do not think people say that Trump is going to pick Carrie Lake are wrong. No, I think Trump reads the room way too much. Like, yeah, sure, he loves sycophants, but he understands the balance that you need. And Carrie Lake is a fucking loser. And while she's attractive, by that I mean like literally physically and relatively telegenic, she's too much of a psychopath. I think that like she's too much of a psycho for Trump to put her on the ballot like that. I don't think.
Yeah,
She's too much of a loser.
Tucker is also too much of a loser now to be considered. He got fired. He's a bum. That's not happening.
Yeah, but he did apparently say he doesn't see any VP contenders in the group of Republicans currently debating.
Yeah, no, this guy's wrong. And also, somebody said fuck Kim Reynolds. That is a deep cut. I have her in C tier in my list, where I like the highest I have there is actually B tier. I don't think, except for I have Mike Flynn in Q tier, which is the highest tier of all of them. But of the people you could pick, I think the one that would actually be kind of smart might be Lee Zeldin, if you know about him.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because he ran as a moderate on abortion in New York.
But he's also, he's not a winner.
No, he by the standards of New York, he only lost by 6, which was he basically won Republicans the House with how well he did. So like he was a member of Congress. Like if he ran in any other state, he would have won. It was just that New York is so democratic that even him like performing very strongly wasn't going to be enough. Yeah, I know that like Zeldin is boring, but he has decent. Yeah, somebody says he almost became governor of New York, and part of that was Hochul being awful, but like he played a part in that too. He also had a really funny moment where he like did a false flag attack against himself, where he got some guy to like pretend to stab him, and that showed. Yeah, that showed some winning energy.
That was him.
That was him. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's got that third world politics like kind of stuff going on. He'd do really good in Pakistan.
That's straight up some Jair Bolsonaro shit right there.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, attacked at a campaign event. I remember that now. I totally forgot about that. Got on stage and Zeldin was giving a speech and attacked him with a pointed plastic keychain.
Yeah,
intended to be used for self-defense.
The fakest shit of all time. He also said people shot into his house. He was just constantly like under fire, supposedly.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but those are the instincts. I think that's why I think he's the best. But like,
that's why he thinks crime is out of control in New York because everyone's always attacking him.
Yeah, exactly. He's constantly.
Like, you guys don't see this.
Yeah, he's living the John Wick in real life.
It's like people are constantly shooting in my direction.
Yeah, they're trying to stab me and shit. Yeah,
yeah.
And
that makes
people
sense.
resonate. Every New Yorker is constantly being attacked because they deserve it.
Yeah. I like the after being indicted, his attacker said he had been drinking on the day of the attack and did not know who Zeldin was.
He just hated him. He's like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't like him. I'm gonna get rid of him.
Yeah. So okay. I mean, overall looking terrible for the Republican Party at the end of this campaign cycle. There's gonna be like 11 people voting.
Yeah,
Really bad, really dire circumstance for the Republican Party, and then also on the other side, really bad for the Democratic Party as well.
yeah, because they're shackled to the oldest man in history. They're shackled to a trillion-year-old man.
Yeah. On the most important election of our lives, of course, as always, which is why we had to get like a carcass in office.
Yeah.
When at least like the deck had more players, you know?
Yeah, they're like the Democratic bench is far more full of talent than the Republicans is, which is why it's annoying. Like the Biden, and I'm saying this is the guy who invented the Dark Brandon meme. Like that meme was making fun of him. The fact that they like took that as something that made him look really cool has always been a very scary sign to me, because it's like, you guys can't come up with anything better than that. I don't even like the guy. Like, come on.
I mean, it works. It's like we loved it. I mean, I think we saw originally in this community. I saw like the Chinese. There was like Chinese memes about it because he was like saying some xenophobic shit or something. But it's just like someone in the chat said, "Yo, I made the Dark Brandon subreddit." Yeah, there's a lot of Dark Brandon enjoyers, but overall, I think that I mean his administration.
Oh my god, it's 75,000 readers.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
There's a lot of activity going on in the Dark Brandon verse, but I think like the NLRB is doing great things. I think that him coming out and like speaking at the picket line is pretty historic. Is like decent. Like he's doing all right. It's just like he's so fucking old that like I don't think he can genuinely prove to the American population that like it's him running the show.
Or that he's old enough to even serve now. The thing that gets me, imagine him being like, if he wins a second term, he'll be in the White House in 2029.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because like he actually is doing a lot of stuff people have waited for a while. Like he's explicitly breaking from like neoliberalism. He spent a ton of money. Like has all this messaging that you would really like to see. He's just the wrong messenger for it, and that's what's really annoying.
Yeah, 100%. I think that like it's weird because he's running a campaign right now. Like, well, there's definitely a lot of elements that I don't like. You know, the dropping the ball on student loan debt relief, which maybe will come back. I don't fucking know what's going on there.
Yeah,
what's up?
You have to do that through Congress. I think at this point, that was really the only thing that the Supreme Court said.
Yeah, it's just that part I don't appreciate. I think he could have he could have actively campaigned on that more, like, utilize the bully pulpit more for that as well, and just said fuck the Supreme Court. I don't know, just like create a constitutional crisis in the direction for once of the American population rather than what the Republicans do all the time, which is do it for their small but like very vocal base of support in either direction. Like they'll do it for like, evangelicals or whatever. But overall, his push, the IRA is decent. Like there's a lot that he's doing that, if I'm being perfectly objective and perfectly honest, there's a lot that he's doing that's pretty good. And if it was like a younger, more telegenic, more charismatic person, he could have like, Obama level popularity potentially. I don't know how he would be able to overcome the obvious economic issues.
Yeah,
like
you can use abortion to do that.
But yeah, there's that too. Yeah, you could just totally override all of those conversations by being like, remember when Republicans literally took away your civil liberties in red states, even if you are a Republican as well?
Yeah, because Biden will be 86 years old in 2029. He'll be closer to being 90, to being 100 years old than he'll be to being 70.
Yeah, it's really, really bad overall. But
But I mean, the circumstances are so like tilted towards Democrats that they can probably drag them over the finish line, which like it's a missed opportunity. That's just like a best.
Yeah, I still do think that like the people in his ear aren't necessarily on the side of labor either, because I think I saw you also cover that as well, where you brought up that quote from from Debbie Dingle being like, "Are you guys fucking stupid? You think that they're not going to go on strike? Like how psychotic are you guys? Like they're so far removed. I think that they have more of the like they have more people in the Brandon orbit that obviously are on the side of the bosses and the CEOs than the rank and file or the labor unions, because that's the reason why I think Joe Biden legitimately thought that this strike would not happen.
Yeah, they're really far up in their own heads, and it's like to an alarming degree. I got like this tell-all book recently. It was like called The Last Politician, and I read it. It was like by this guy who was just like really kind of like very pro Biden, talking about how awesome he is. But I read it to get the kind of see how the administration thinks of themselves, and I skipped over to the end of the part about the midterms. And what concerned me is that they seem to legitimately think that they won the midterms, and not that like abortion was what did it. They're like, oh, it was our strategies as the White House that won everything, and it's like that's not what happened. You guys got to be a bit like a bit less full of them yourselves. It's like I don't really trust them to run a campaign that really meets people where they are.
Yeah. No, I think they are once again in a holding pattern and like allowing Republicans to fuck themselves up, because there is a genuine spiritual crisis in the Republican Party right now, a crisis that they're suffering from their own success.
Yeah.
Because you're never supposed to actually follow through on like a lot of the wedge issue culture war stuff, and they're going absolute nutty with it, whether it be, you know, the insane anti-trans legislation at the state legislatures that they're pushing for that like virtually zero people are actually asking for on the ground. Like, sure, you got like AstroTurf PTA conferences, right, where people come in and they're like, child genital mutilation. Like, why are you doing child genital mutilation at your schools, or whatever the fuck these freaks are saying? But overall,
those guys are fake as hell because they don't even care about circumcision.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like, unironically, a more logical argument to make, but no one will make that, because no one wants to be the guy talking about baby dicks, like, obviously.
Yeah.
Which is precisely the reason why no one brings up intactivism as like a legitimate, political talking point, because it's gross. It's gross to fucking talk about baby dicks all the fucking time, and that's what you're doing when you constantly talk about like child genital mutilation is occurring. And especially when like you're talking about 1% of the population and none of them are getting this surgery that you claim that they're getting. And then also you're trying to do bomb threats on fucking child hospitals and shit.
Yeah, they're insanely online.
Yeah, exactly. And not even in a way where like, you know, Trump makes the memes. They're insanely online in the worst ways possible.
Yeah, they're making Wojaks about Senate races. It's over. It never even began.
Yeah, it's really, really, really bad. All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming on, man. What do you want to plug?
Oh, at Intermentum.news. If you guys are tier list fans, I got tons of tier lists. I got tier lists about Democratic presidential candidates. I got tier lists about the Republicans. I got a bunch of articles about like the election too, and like history. Well, there's only one thing about history, but it's a lot of the same stuff that we talk about here. Yeah, this is the Trump VP list. It's going to be paywall, but I do have the thing about you can get the thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I added a GIF about there. So I have like these kind of analyses about how terrible they are, and then so that's kind of like that's what you need to get to. But like I have like about like 10, 15 people on that list, and there's a bunch of stuff like that. I put about one thing every week. It's like really like my main thing now. I'm also on Twitter where I also post a lot about this stuff. Yeah, it's in the chat there. But it's great coming on. It was fun to talk to you in the chat and everybody. It's fun.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
See you guys.
All right. Bye. On that note, chat, I know some of you are like, Hasan, are you going to play video games right now? And the answer to that question is, unfortunately, no.